Right, surprise, surprise, VIEGO is the best jungler of Season 15. There are a lot of other junglers in Season 15 that are good, but we're going to start off with VIEGO because he does a little bit of everything, and it's a great way to assess the meta, especially against Wukong, who's also strong. We'll look at him very shortly. Right, we have here a Singed proxying, as they do. We got a Swain versus Silas, Ezreal, Braum with the Nami and Misfortune. I like this. Now, I like him starting up here because it does something very important for most junglers, and that is set you up for a dragon. What we're seeing is, with feats of strength being the focus, people are getting a little bit too obsessed over first blood, specifically here, right? We see here the Wukong trying for this, compromising himself. It's best not to really compromise your first clear for the Singe, but it is what it is. There it is, maybe. Who will get first blood? A battle of wits and patience. I don't really know entirely what the Wukong is doing, but we'll watch it. Mere must, MMR game, it is what it is. First blood. Do not go psycho over it. Do not compromise your jungling over it. Play normally. Why? Because if you can simply get one dragon, maybe one grub even, you stall their feats of strength for the 3 objectives, yes? Very important. First turret can then be gained, who knows what. Like, first turret almost from a level 1 perspective is just as coin flip as the kill. It just takes a lot longer to come through. Obviously here we have the gank at the bottom side. Silas is roamed early. We're going into the jungle here because we know that the Wukong is low. We're going to keep our eyes on this. Looking for first blood. You would have done this anyway in the past, right? This hasn't changed how you play. If you see the Wukong this low doing these things kiting down and you have done up to the Raptors here, you'd cut and invade this anyway. So this is my example here of your good jungling will deliver victories. Also, we'll give you first bloods and objectives and first turrets in the same way that they always have done. My focal point here is, let's see who's going to get it. Well, the Silas obviously has his flash up. We're going to get it, which is huge. Let's see if we can snowball this. We will have a 95% KP game from this VIEGO, and again, that's an important thing to focus on. The Wukong shouldn't have gone for the proxying Singe. He gets his blue, he gets to ditch out. That's fantastic. But you absolutely must head to Virkayu.gg. Not only do I have a free jungle improvement resource, I also have a dedicated program with jungle video courses, jungle coaching, coaching classes, a jungle VOD library. Courses will be prepped for Season 15 as soon as the changes are stable. All the fundamentals you need for right now are available in a ridiculous amount of hours for content tailored for your MMR so you can climb to reach your peak rank, as we saw from all of those people hitting their peak dreams in Season 14 as fast as possible. So to hit your peak rank in Season 15 and jungle diff every game you play, head to the link in the description below or to Virkayu.gg. Don't compromise your jungling for anything that Riot put in as an artificial booster to snowballing, to scaling, doesn't matter. Much like with Kindred, you don't compromise your good jungling for a mark. Can incentivize you, can direct you a little bit, but it shouldn't replace good plays. Now, from the Wukong's perspective, we'll look at this in a lot of the games we're going to cover over the next week or two. How can you then get feats of strength here, get those boosted boots, which are going to be nerfed, by the way, like very shortly, literally now they're nerfed, which means their power is a little bit less. How can we then get feats of strength regardless? So from my perspective here, I like the idea of starting top, going down, looking for bot lane ganks. Get that first blood if it's there for you, otherwise, don't force it. But a 5-minute dragon, if you can snack this within the flow of your clear, while getting grubs, it's going to be absolutely huge. Obviously, when you start topside, that's not going to happen necessarily, but it does provide you certain options and certain champions. So we'll see how that looks. We'll go over all the strategies. There's so much to talk about. But for now, the Wukong is compromised. VIEGO is not. He's finished his full clear. He sees the repeat gank opportunity, repeat fight opportunity. The Ezreal, probably complains about junglers and then does these kinds of things. Here's what it is. There we go. Free kill. Nice. What you're looking at in this meta is a lot of skirmishing. Now, the Wukong here, see, this for me is a mistake from the Wukong. You've got to think a little bit more dynamically about what's going on here. You made your own bed, you got to lie in it. But we know that the VIEGO could now reset, go top scuttle, take his camps and ignore these, or most likely fall back to take these and then repeat gank this. You now have to make a decision. Or a guess. Is he going to do one or the other? The easiest thing for you to do is go here, hit the plant, and look for the scuttle crab. Is it available? Can I snack it? Yes. If you do that, at absolute most, you get the scuttle, you can bounce, you're good. At best, you see VIEGO show up here, right? You F key, you see this, you're like, oh, scuttle, tier 2 Gromp, leave a ward down if you got it, take the wolves if he does overstay even longer. Huge slingshot opportunity for you as Wukong. It's silly to go back down here. There's nothing to do. Let your bot lane die. You do not need to rotate to them because of some weird artificial thing that Riot put in the game. You didn't even have eyeball anymore, so it's not like he's getting the same kind of snowball as you would have with eyeball. Yes, this is spawning. Doesn't matter. Boom. Boom, snacked. We watch the Viego. This guy obviously will go back to base now. You're probably not going to have... you probably could have actually done maybe something of the wolves, but at least Scuttle Gromp. We agree? Everyone agrees? Good. This denies a Viego a lot and gives you a huge slingshot because this is a level 4 Gromp. Spawning, you're compromised. You might as well do that. You can reset and come down here. All right, cool. God, we all understand that. Good jungling, regular jungling, all the jungling we know, that doesn't change whatsoever as Brom kills are cinched. How then can we now focus on getting the objectives and getting first turret? Let's see how the game develops. We don't know yet. No one knows, right? So all you can do here is go sequencing. Now you decide, right? 544, 45, the grubs are going to spawn. Do I cut up here and go for this? Probably. Now, if the grump wasn't here and the wolves were half gone, would he stay out and kind of loiter, or would he just go to the Raptors and look for another play? I don't know. But that you kind of want the Viego to have to make a tough decision, and the Wukong has given him easy decisions to make. So, we're going to go ahead and do this. And talking about those dragons, this guy's going to go ahead and contest it. Again, I don't like what he's doing overall. We know that this is the most likely going to be snacked off the map here. Your play, not necessarily in this game, just in general, right, should be to look to snack this, to counter jungle this, to snowball this, to do something else. Even if you lose your Raptors, that's fine. Because if you lose your Raptors here, but you can get the dragon, counter jungle dive, and maybe get this turret first, you're setting yourself up for feats of strength, even though you lost first blood, from the Wukong's perspective. Now, what Viego's done is what I kind of want people to look at. We're level 6 here at 640, a little bit slower. What has the Viego ultimately done, my friends, with 49 CS here? We have done ourselves a full clear here. We've done some counter juggling, we've done some fighting, but we've looked at not really finishing off this quadrant again, right? We've only done this quadrant one time. It was a little disjointed, but we've done it one time. So we can then go from grubs, cut through and focus on the dragon. Why? Because now we know we got first blood. We want to get 2 out of the first 3 objectives, definitely, to make sure we have that option to stack those nicely for the Ruinous Atacan. We'll get to that in a second as well. We cut through, we see the gankable line, we decide to go for that instead. We know the Wukong's going to be on the bottom side. We get hit. We're 6. Wukong rotates over level 4 down 2 levels. It's his own fault. Going to maximize the experience. We're going to alter, create some spacing. The changes from Destiny do hit from the silos. So good rotation from the mid lane. Good reaction here from the Wukong. Nice eyes from the Viego to look for the play anyway. And that's all you really can do. The whole thing is just look for the plays. Decide if you can go for them or not. And if it goes south, pull the plug. Don't die unnecessarily. Now, Wukong is level 4, so he's really screwed. He can't go for this. I would love to be able to do the grubs, gank, do a dragon while controlling my camps. I would like to do a dragon, then go to the grubs while ganking, having priority, and doing all my camps. Like, that's the dream scenario, right? Because that gives you free upgrades on the boots, basically. It's very hard to lose when you have that position. There you go, there's a flash W. So we'll get that kill back, I guess. And now, because we got that kill, and we're really strong, and Wukong's really, really far behind, his name is Where's My Grump? If he jungles like this every game, he's going to be saying, Where's my Grump a lot. Yeah, it's not good. We can then easily fall back to the dragon here. So what you're noticing from the Viego is a bit more aggressive pathing early, heavy focus on stitching together these 2 objectives as necessary, but not blinded by them. If he sees fights that he can go to, the ganks he can make, he goes to them, but as a result, gets it anyway. Yay, this is so nice and fun for him. Dominating, basically. The Wukong has signed his own death warrant in this particular case, no sympathies, but if you guys are in Emerald and Diamond and Platinum and Bronze and Iron, whatever MMR, Bone Void rank you're in, remember, the junglers you're playing against are going to be looking like this relative to your skill if you're good. Like, if you're destined to climb, it should look like this in comparison to your skill, right? That's ultimately the truth. And first to note here, 1-0-3, it's not like we have all the kills. We're going to tackle the Braum here. We see the Wukong on this vision on the top side. We're going to try and hit that stun. We don't hit it. Wukong, again, has an opportunity for some counter jungling. Is choosing to go for his own camps. Not thinking or dreaming big. Oh. The Braum tried to help. We'll get the heal there. We can probably go again. I thought he might. Okay, we'll take it. Thought we might be able to get it up there, but Silas is going to rotate again. A lot of roams from the Silas. A lot of roams, a lot of skirmishing, a lot of fiesta. Now, you know, when you get around 20 kills plus more kills or more damage, you should be getting Ruinous Ats again. And here's where things are becoming interesting when I'm talking a lot more about objectives. I think your PvP power should not be compromised for a first blood where you lose control. Like the Wukong was so desperate for this first blood, he lost the game. Just don't worry about it, right? Focus on how you can just play normally and well. The reason is because I've seen a lot of junglers do the typical Season 14 focus grubs, give up first dragons, give up second dragons. Okay, that's fine. But if they're able to cut in and contest or deny you the grubs or get the grubs themselves again, especially the second pit, especially as they're going longer, right? They don't despawn at 13:45, they despawn at 15:45. So there's even more time for them to snack those grubs, right? If you miss them. You're looking at a situation where maybe there's a Ruinous Atacan. They have 3 grubs, they have 2 to 3 dragons. And because of your pathing and focal points, you've struggled to get any objectives really or objective control. What if you are unable to get Ruinous Atacan and they do? That's 25% bonus boost on all their objectives, on all their epic monsters, right? And now, if they get Soul, an early Soul, 4 dragons to 0 with 25% buff, that's when the game becomes difficult. Yeah, the boots are strong, but of course, those will be contained in time. That will settle down, but it's really that's the problem. So, from my point of view, if you're having to give up an Atacan that boosts the monster buffs, as we see the Silas getting ganked here by Swain. It was a Swain for Swain. I was like, Viego could rotate, probably should. He does. He gets the kill super juicy. Nice cut. That's right. We don't overly obsess. There's a dive coming from the Wukong. They're going to try and push this turret now because they want to get that. But Viego should be able to work. Oh, well. New season. Season 16 will be better, says Ezreal. I mean, he is fat. It's not really anyone else's fault. So, goal for us now is first blood. We have it anyway. Sorry, first blood. First turret. I was going to say, try to get the first turret, but not because of the feats of strength. We already have that under control. For us, it's really about just maximizing plate gold now. So the typical stuff. Don't forget, turrets still give plate gold. Even if the first turret secure doesn't give you bonus gold, you know, you still get gold from the plates. Right. So we went grubs, cut across, and this is, I'm just going to pause again, sorry. Important for the early season games to look at it this way. We do the grubs. Normally, you might think, oh, can I counter jungle dive top lane? Can I just fall back to my camps and gank bot lane and then do the dragon? His focus was immediately on, hey, gank mid lane, drive out mid lane, go for dragon. Cut off the fact that the Wukong's behind, use that pressure to get 2 objectives, thumbs up. They tried to go for the gank bottom lane, didn't work out. Silas showed up, so we just do the Krugs, repeat gank, and then we get it anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Whatever form that takes for you, dragon into grubs, grubs into dragon, every game will be different. Ideally, if you can manage that, do it. But don't do it in a way that you die or you lose control of games. Because now people are going to rush 5-minute dragon, die, then rush to grubs and die. So don't do that. Everything here was within the flow of the map, intelligently. It was just, that's my focus, right? But I'm not going to die for my focus. Which, I mean, we know a lot of people do. Level 8, doesn't matter. We're going to hit the stun there. A lot of damage from the Viego here with the Kraken Star in the boots. I do like that. Yeah, we got him. The Triumphant versions are nice. They're free stats are good. The boots obviously being nerfed a little bit in terms of their stats is huge, the tier 3 boots. But when you buy those tier 3 boots is important. Mostly it's going to feel great between 2 to 3 items when Atacan comes up, when you should have 3 items in theory, but you know how things can change. That's really what we're wanting to do. Now, some champions benefit better with 4 items where you don't compromise any spikes. But some champions, like if you die, Atacan's on the map, you got 900 gold, you really need to win that fight for the Atacan or for the next dragon, and you know you want a needless or BF sword. Do I save and wait, or do I invest in the boots and get those bonus stats for the next fight? I like to do that, but obviously it depends on your champion and your feel and what the game state is. There's no one obvious answer, but do bear in mind that you got to think a little bit about that. The Wukong is strong, as I say, a little bit of an obvious trap. We go for it, we fall for it. Trying to not get stunned by the Braum. The camera does help us a lot. Misfortune moves to cover us. It's a 3 vs 2. We'll back away. Again, the Silas could be rotating. We don't know where he is. We'll see him here, so we know. Okay, cool. Fall back to our Krugs. All standard jungling. Now we can give up this next dragon. And even if this is going to be a Ruinous Atacan, it doesn't matter. Because we got 6 grubs. We have a dragon. They have 1. So if we have to give it up, it's like, okay. I had to give it up. That sucks. But don't die for it. Right? Don't die for it. And you know, them taking it is more about them denying you the 25%. And if you have a big lead, you have a big lead. And again, remember this. If you have 10,000 gold, what do you have here? 5,800 gold, so 6,000 basically by 14. Wukong's at 4.6. it doesn't matter even if the Wukong did get free tier 3, the option for the tier 3 upgrade, because he doesn't have the gold to buy it. And even if he does buy it, he still only can spend 4,600 gold, and you can spend 6,000. You know, I know the boots are highly valuable, but that will be nerfed, very much so, where they're 750 gold like any other 750 gold. So it's what form it takes. If it's a pickaxe or, well, not really pickaxe, but a couple long swords or a blasting wand, not even that, a sheen, you know, like it's going to be spent into something anyway, right? So don't let it mentally compromise you too much, is my point. Okay? Now, next thing we need to talk about. I've just done a lot of coaching, so I'm just kind of brain dumping a little bit while watching VIEGO dominate the game. But I feel like that these early gameplays are usually a bit of a brain dump, just to introduce you guys to concepts, ways to think, what I've noticed, what you can maybe use in your games, how you can kind of structure your early game strategy, because that's where people suffer early. They don't know how to, in early season, they don't know how to structure their game plans. So, as again, treat it like you would treat a Baron, guys, in terms of setup. Like, you're not going to solo that sucker. It takes a long time. It's definitely a bait for some junglers who think, I'll solo it. Off you go, team. No, you're going to die. They collapse, you die. So, try and set up the map and prepare for it like you would anything else. The biggest problem I have been seeing, as we rotate to this as well, 315 here, 8 out of 9 KP. Enemy has 13 kills, just by the way. You know, Ezreal is pretty fed. Doesn't really matter that we got feats of strength at this point. You know, we have a 2.5k gold lead. That's great. This spawning here at 16 minutes for me is very important because a lot of people are, let's see if we got a fight here. We do miss a W, so you got to decide if you want to stick with the fight here or chill a little bit. Nami goes gaming. VIEGO goes deep. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't really mind. Even if we were to win this fight straight up, maybe we do actually win it. No, not really. Sin shows up. Oh, Sin shows up, so we do win it. Yeah, you can see, like, we missed the W. There's a bit of fog of war. I looked at the map. I see the Ezreal down there, but nobody else. Akali could roam. Don't really want to die for that. Now, this is my point. 60 minutes, people are dying like this. 20 minutes, they're dying like this. Don't. Treat your team fights like team fights would be treated around the Baron. Because this being up at the same time as the Atacan, okay, especially if it's here, is troublesome. You don't want to force your team to be thinking too much about, like, should I go for turrets? Should I go for Atacan? Should I go for Rift Herald? Should I use the Rift Herald? Should I go back to base? Should I go farming camp? Should I push waves? There's almost too much. There's almost too much. So as a jungler, what you can do is streamline the reality. You miss your W, you force them back, cool. Can we do the Herald? Nice. Ideally, I want to do the Herald. Why? Because I can sit on that and use that for push, a turret, a split, a distraction. Also, I can set up better for the Atacan objective, which is what I really want. In this particular game, we'll see. The new HUD is not fully updated, but in-game you can tell if it's Ruinous or Voracious. Voracious is definitely kind of broken, but also useless at the same time. It's a really weird passive. It allows the winning team to be idiots. If you're the losing team and they get Voracious Atacan, just don't fight them. 150 seconds, treat it like a Baron, just back up, play smart. Silas is out of position there. He's going to die 99% here. VIEGO's going to ult the gap closer, make sure we get that kill. Beautiful. Now we can become the Silas. Always a good champion to become. We will have Chains of Destiny ourselves. There's a Wukong in the mid lane, really lost in time and space. I mean, the fact that he's 2-1-2 is pretty good. It's just the most useless 2-1-2 I've ever seen in my life. That was a nice W. Now forced to flash over the wall, auto attack, we'll get that one, and Dragon will be available for us also. So now we don't have this, we can go ahead and take this. So that's a benefit of playing it the way they've done. Don't be too overtly stressed. Let's see what they do here, because, you know, I'm talking about doing the Herald to avoid having two objectives up at once, but the way this game has worked, this Dragon's gonna be up just before. So really we're looking at a fight to get a Dragon. If we win that fight and get the Dragon, most likely we're getting the Atacan too, depending on how that goes. Let's actually see. Let's actually see how it goes. We don't really fully know. We'll go back to base. We have the buy. We got the Titanic. We got the Kraken Slayer. Yeah. I know you guys like these builds. See, we're choosing to go to the top side. See, this is interesting here. Okay, we have a huge categorical advantage. Ezreal is a problem. We're strong. Akali rotating. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Herald here and punch this out. We got 6 grubs. You know, that's great. But the Dragon is going to be snacked away. It's going to prime up for the Atacan. Are they going to stay to do this, or are they going to try and hold? Now, someone will have to try and hold. Let's see. For me, the game could swing in a very negative direction for this play. Now, classically, if this was just a regular Season 14 or whatever situation, you would do this, right? Because we don't really care. Kali rotates to the top lane. Whoa, she is strong. That is a lot of damage. Oh my goodness gracious, we're actually going to die for the overcommit. Reset by Kali and Braum and Ezreal. We're outnumbered. We get both killed here. We lose the dragon. Most likely then... Let's see what's going to happen here. Wow. Well, as I said, I literally coached a player yesterday. No, earlier today as well. Done a lot of coaching already in the club. We already have the problem where he split push while they did the dragon. Exactly the same scenario, except the Atakan was the top side. So they snacked up the dragon, everyone went back to base, then they ran out of base to contest, and they took so long trying to duo this that they died and they lost it. I'm seeing a lot of 90 to 20 minute throws through macro. So this one, of course, we have Ruinous, which is exactly what I'm talking about this game. We've had to give up now 2 dragons, which means even though we have the grubs, this here, look at this, let's watch this fight, you see how you gotta do it as a team. It's not something you're necessarily gonna, the Fed Ezreal with a Wukong kind of makes it a lot easier actually. So Fed ADCs, always good here, Fed Mage is always good here. So you do want your team, you don't want to try and do it yourself, that's the most important thing. Some champions can, but best just to snack it up here. This is an unnecessary throw from blue team and from the VIEGO. I like the, and look at all of this, I mean, like, this is the most important thing, okay, so what do we got here? 14 petals, 12.4 adaptive force. You see that? You do see that, okay, 12.4 adaptive force. We're gonna snack this up, okay? When Ruinous dies, you get all these flowers, okay? That's gonna shoot up too. It over doubled. You just gave them all of that free stat. That's why Karthus is so good. For me, if it's a Ruinous and you're snowballing and you have objective control, this is your focal point because this will allow you to snowball even harder. I'm seeing too much in coaching and in these kinds of games when I'm scouting, people are like, oh, well, I'll give up the dragon because I want to split push. No. You can use the Herald to do that and leave your guy to do that, but rotate here, make the fight. We want to get the dragon for sure. Then we have 2, they have 1. We can get the Ruinous hopefully as well. We got the Herald as a bait there while we focus this. It's all about that balance of timing. And the VIEGO made a mistake there in my opinion. You know, giving losing teams who have 2 dragons a free Ruinous sucks. But here's the thing, and here's the salvation that we can think about. We have a dragon and 6 grubs. Imagine if you didn't have the dragon. Imagine if you had 3 dragons on the enemy team and you made this play, and now they're going to get solo on the next one with a 25% boost of Ruinous Atakan. Whoa, not good at all. That's why I told you, if you can get 2 pits of grubs and a dragon, does help you get feats of strength, but if you make a mistake, like you did here, macro doesn't go well, your team doesn't play well, your team will die and you have to give it up, such as life, it's not the end of the world, you know, but 3 dragons plus grubs, 25%, you know, even if you have feats of strength and the booties, it's not exactly going to change your life. So here we're going to have this 204 shield, which is great, but you're noticing now a lot of free stats to the enemy. The game is, Sinch is dead. Ezreal's level 13, we're level 13, Wukong's level 13. It's basically going to be standardized, equal game state, regular macro, which is the same every game now. It's just about how strong are you in this phase of the game when you want to go for the Baron play and the split pushing. Because now we got 4 minutes until Baron. Dragon will be up again. So you're in exactly the same situation we always used to be in. It's just, instead of it being 17, 18 minutes, it's 22, 23 minutes. And they get way more stats. What pedals do we have, by the way? We have 31, so we got 23 adaptive force. They got 47, they got 28.7, so it's not like we're that far behind, which is the most important thing here because we've been winning. But if you've been losing, you can imagine. Swain's out of position. We're going to guide and glide, protect, use our body a little bit. All right, here, TP's weird, we don't have TP. Okay, they're going to try to go all in on the Nami. They mistake their damage. And, well, Misfortune ults, we get the kill there. VIEGO kills the Braum. Kali's gone way too deep. Assassins are fine if you are fine on the assassin, but overall, yeah, they're struggling. Like Eyeball does suck. Really, it sucks a lot. Wukong is truly tragic, but that's okay. So the red team do give us back something, but hopefully you can at least see, one, if you get feats of strength, it doesn't guarantee you add to Ken's snowball in victory, as you saw in this game, because it's still about your decisions and how you play it. 2, even if you do give up the Atakan and all those roses and all those stats away for free, you can still win games. So mostly I want you to pay attention to, hey guys, keep your mental, because there's always ins and outs of every game, and this is a great game for showing you first turrets versus first bloods versus getting those 3 objectives, how we want to pass and think about it, and how we want to really use that as a snowball to get all the dragons, to get all the grubs, to get all the dragons. Atacans, excuse me. There's only one. We're getting distracted by the fact that we are once more overstaying our welcome just a little bit. The fact that we're able to live, glide through, and heal. Whew. The Viego's playing very well. It's a little knife's edge sometimes, but he's playing well. Anyway, the idea behind all of those things is to snowball with everything. If you're going to give it up, then why did you, So I don't understand this play. I don't want to give it the dragon. I want it. I want the Atacan. I do believe we can win that fight for it. Why not use the Herald in a way that allows me to actually take those things easily? Easily. Let's go with it. But splitting here and dying. Timing was off. It was too soon. They got a free thing. Those are throw moments. But fortunately, the red team was like, well, what if we throw it back? And throw it back they did. Well, they got a Wukong, so the feces do got a fling. Now, regular stuff. You're in a position here to snack the dragon. You have a huge gold lead, relatively. And Viego's giga fed. We got 11,000 gold. So the fact that, imagine that the Wukong did have feats of strength here. The fact that he's down 3,200 gold should mean nothing to you. He's not going to win just from that. And again, they did get the Atacan too, so just want you to try and justify in your brain that having this, which is great, right, versus having this, it's not going to offset 3,200 gold. So just be the better jungler, make the better play. Don't die for things like they never die for things that you don't need to die for, and just make sure that the balance is giving you the objectives necessary to push the map, hit turrets, and go get a Baron and win. That's it. The overarching rules of jungle haven't changed. Our priorities have, and as you can see here, Baron's on the map, so we're going down. Always a little risky if we want to detach fully, so we don't. We don't go to Krugs. We loop back up to the top side. They think we're gone. They overcommit. Swain presses the R button. The Kali's on the flank there. The ult combination plus the rooting and grounding, rather, from the Cinch is huge. Misfortune cuts back in here. Viego's on the back line. Here we can definitely try and kill that monkey. He flashes out. We're going to try and hit the W, which of course we do. We'll just swipe him a few times with the sword, get the kill. Deep back line is the Silas, but Viego's on the back side himself as a monkey. Hello there. Dash into a bonk, into another bonk, and that'll be an ace. Huge team fight. Now, the Viego played very, very well, perfectly almost. The split push top lane I don't agree with because of everything we said. But his mechanics in the team fights were great. Good resets, knife's edge a few times, but overall, that's why this video is about Viego and jungling. And Viego, but mostly jungler, but also Viego. The build, the champion, the in and out gameplay, the snowballing. You don't need everything to be strong. You just need you to be good, to be intelligent, to get most things, and you will be strong. He's played very well. Singe just had some good impact, honestly. Like, his KD looks like shit, but he's had a good impact. Huge. This, in theory, should be game. They should be able to close this out. How would you close this out? The exact same damn way you close out any game at this particular stage. Nothing has changed other than you have some rose petals that give you some extra stats, and the red team realize, okay, look, this game isn't going so well. Viego might just straight up 1v12. Therefore, I'm including the Wukong's clones because, goodness, he was useless. There you go, my friends. First gameplay of the year, talking about jungle, talking about Viego, why he's strong. We'll apply all of these different scenarios. What if you lose all feats of strength? What if you lose all objectives? How can you still win? What if you get a voracious Atacan? How can we win from that? We're going to look at all the possibilities, all the best junglers on this channel, so keep your eyes out for that. Thank you very much for watching. Virkayu GG for the good stuff, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.